Welcome to Class 8 History, Chapter 1, How, When, and Where. History is like a time machine. It helps us travel into the past and explore how people lived, how things changed, and how our present world was shaped. In this chapter, we will discover how historians study the past, why dates are important, and how places and events are recorded. Let's begin our journey into the world of history. History is the study of the past. It tells us about kings and queens, farmers and workers, travelers and traders, wars and revolutions, inventions and discoveries. But history is not just about big events or famous people. It also tells us about ordinary people, how they lived, what they ate, what clothes they wore, how they worked, and how their lives changed over time. Studying history helps us understand our roots and shows us how societies evolve. We use dates because they help us arrange events in chronological order, meaning in the order they happened. Dates help us understand which events happened earlier and which came later. For example, if we know that the revolt of 1857 happened before India became independent in 1947, we understand that the revolt was part of India's long struggle for freedom. However, history is not only about dates. Many changes happen slowly, over long periods of time. So historians focus on processes and changes, not just single events. In school history, we usually divide India's past into three broad periods: ancient, medieval, and modern. But did you know that these divisions were created by British historians? They believe that Indian history had three phases: Hindu, Muslim, and British. However, this division is not fully correct because it focuses only on religion, not on social, economic, and cultural changes. Modern historians use better categories like economic changes, political systems, and technological developments to study the past more accurately. Historians learn about the past by reading and examining historical sources. These include books and journals written in the past, letters and diaries, coins, tools, weapons and clothes, paintings and photographs, building remains and monuments, official government documents. Each source tells us something different. For example, coins tell us about the economy, old paintings show clothing and activities, and government records help us understand administration. The British believed that good records were essential for governing India. They kept detailed information about land ownership, revenue collection, population, laws and rules, criminal cases, trade and agriculture. They set up record rooms in every district where these documents were stored carefully. Because of this habit of record keeping, today's historians have access to huge amounts of information about British rule in India. To understand India better and strengthen control, the British conducted many surveys. Some of them include land surveys to measure fields and find out who owned what, revenue surveys to fix taxes, botanical surveys to study plants, zoological surveys to study animals, archaeological surveys to explore ancient ruins, census surveys to count the population. These surveys created detailed maps and reports that historians still use today. Not all records are perfect. Some are lost, destroyed, or incomplete. Many official reports written by British officers were biased. They described events from the British point of view. So historians must compare many sources before coming to a conclusion. History is full of changes, some fast, some slow. For example, transport changed from walking and bullock carts to buses, trains, and airplanes. Communication changed from handwritten letters to telegraphs, phones, and the internet. Agriculture changed with new seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation systems. Historians try to understand how these changes happened and how they affected people's lives. Historians try to reconstruct the past by collecting and analyzing different kinds of evidence. But they also ask important questions like, why did this happen? Who wrote this? Is this information reliable? What was the writer's purpose? Historians compare different sources: letters, diaries, newspapers, reports, monuments, and artifacts to build a complete and accurate picture of the past. Let's quickly recap what we learned today. History is the study of change over time. Dates help us arrange events in order. Historians use many sources to understand the past. The British kept detailed records and conducted surveys. Not all records are reliable, so historians cross-check information. History helps us understand how our present world was shaped. Thank you for watching. This was Class 8 History, Chapter 1, How, When, and Where. In the next chapter, we will explore how British rule expanded in India. See you soon.